Watching a guy clean a car. Clean the fuck out of this car. Man, he playing. Took it apart, scrubbed every fucking individual piece of it. Now he's got to fucking put it back together. Stop. Sure, go ahead. Clean the fuck out of this car. Get all the rust off this shit. I don't know what that does for you, Stitchell. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that is. Diddy. Oh. Yeah, that's crazy. We talked about it earlier. They still can't find him, huh? Clean the fuck out of that car.
Like I said, I'm going to get that.
You just got to keep applying, I guess. Do Instacart. If you got a car, get signed up for that Instacart. That's easy money. That's what I'm going to be back to doing very soon. Yeah, no ideas. I can't even eat today. I'm broke as fuck. Biden's America. Look into the Instacart. Because you can't be late to Instacart. You can go to work whenever you want. I don't know. You just have to see. If you live next to like a grocery store, it's pretty busy. Just drive to the city, work in the city, and then go home. Beats being broke. Will you quit trying to bite me? Where is Ricky Perez? I'm gonna watch his donation. It's time. He was in the DMs going, go love, go love, go. Where you at now? There's a little clown. They're trying to bite me. They're trying to bite me. Leave that bird alone. That bird didn't do nothing to you, boy. Come on, Ricky Perez. So they put that Neuralink in that guy's brain. 29-year-old in a wheelchair put a Neuralink brain chip in his head. And now he's playing video games with his mind. That's how they're going to sell it to the people. That's how they're going to get people taking that chip. Oh, you better play your games on it and all kinds of shit. And I wonder how that works. He just thinks about it and the shit happens on the game. Like, what the fuck? Quit licking me. Put the video up. What video? Him playing this fucking game? Ain't no video of it. I can't put videos up on here anyway until I get mine. I can on Twitter. If we stream on Twitter, you can throw the shit right up on there. On YouTube, no. No, no. No, 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 no. Quit licking me. Figures. I'm about to just watch it anyway. I need a link to it. Get out of my face and quit licking me. Stop. Go. Goddamn dog. Move. Here, start licking me. Stop. I don't want to be licked. Quit. I don't even know what server I'm on. I'm not even really playing. I just turned it on so I could stream from PlayStation. I'm on Zen Labs. Everything wipes tomorrow. So, fuck it. Oh, I figured out how to finally archive the phone streams. So the one I did earlier that was like 2 hours, I archived that one. Border is wide open. Yep. Wide open. Wide open. Come on, Richard Perez. Let's watch this shit. Let's listen to these songs. Let's watch this shit. Let's go, Perez. No, I'm going to keep streaming. I have work. I don't need to find it. I just got to get my car back. I'm not sitting around here all day because I don't have a way to work. I just don't have my car. That's how I work. I do miss a car. Once I get the car back, which is supposed to be this weekend, all I got to do then is get my phone back on. I got to make $98 off this fucking stream. Some way, somehow. Turn my phone back on, and then I can go do Instacart. And then I'm going to stream, like, I'll stream during the day and shit. Hold on, I got to go watch this. I got a lot of stuff I'm gonna be doing on the stream, but in or out, Marco. Come on, in or out. But right now, I'm just focused on surviving every fucking day. Got to get the computer fixed too. I need a new cord for that shit. Surely that won't cost too much. How much I make off Instacart? Just depends on how much you work. You can work from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. every night if you want. That's the hours for Instacart. It's closed after that. I've made $700 in a week before. No, over 700 because I do Grubhub too. And I probably made over $800, probably close to $900 that week. But we was grinding hard on that shit. In an hour, it depends what the orders you take. Like they give you a list of orders, and some of them you could make like 30, 40 an hour. I made $70 off one order one time with the cash tip and everything. Now some days it can be dead and there ain't a lot of orders, and then some days it's just nonstop. You can work all fucking day and make a lot of money. You could definitely pay your bills and shit with it. I've been paying my bills off this shit for months. But I was eating out every day and shit. I was fine. Waiting to get back on that Instacart. Ah! She's looking like she's gonna bite somebody. She's just playing with Miracle. Y'all go. Stop. Getting Marshall riled up. Making him uncomfortable. Making his boy uncomfortable. All right, get in. Y'all go. Go, go. So y'all get into a fight. Y'all aggravating. You aggravating the hell out of everybody. Me too. Sit down somewhere. Quit jumping and going crazy. We don't need all that. $700 after taxes. It pays the bills. Gas ain't that bad, really. I don't know if it pays my bills, but I don't live above my means. I don't have a bunch of crazy ass bills. I don't have a bunch of addictions. I just gotta pay my bills and feed myself. And the dogs and my mom. That's it. And people like that take care of. Crap. You'll definitely make money doing it. Just how you spend it, I guess. Jacob Larson does it, and he's got a normal job, and he does it after work. My girlfriend does Instacart too. What you doing, dog? Well, see, I do Instacart and I make money off the stream too. Like I make shit, a couple $100 off this fucking stream every month. At least if I added it all up, easily. But it's like Instacart. You got to be active. You got to be streaming to make money off the stream. You got to be shopping to make money off Instacart. You can't just be sitting at home fucking off. I like doing Instacart though. It's not boring. It's easy as fuck. Yeah, you listen to podcasts all day and shop at the store. Fucking pick out items and shit. And I know where everything is in that store. I've done 1,000 orders in it, so I know where everything's at. So I get it done quick. Then you take it over to the house, drop it off, go back. And when it's dead, you're just sitting in the parking lot fucking off on your phone. I mean, hardly a terrible job to have. And sometimes I stream when I do it. When I'm shopping and shit, I stream when I do it. Fuck it. Do this two things at once. Why not? Yeah, no boss. It's not just about the money. Like, I mean, if it doesn't pay enough to live off, then it's not worth it. But I've been surviving off that shit for months. But you don't have a boss. If you wake up, you're sick or something, you don't have to force yourself to go do it. If you got some plans to do something, then you don't have to fucking make an excuse to call out of work or some shit. You just don't go. And they don't get mad at you. It's not like you have to do Instacart. It's there for you to do whenever you want. And you can get off whenever you want. They don't give a shit. You could do one order a day. Just get yourself, sack of weed or something. I don't know what the fuck you spend it on, but let's say you make $30. So you got $30. You can make $30 a day and go home if you wanted. Sometimes there's been times I went out, did one order, fed myself, and went home. The taxes isn't crazy because I got kids I can claim, and I don't make a shit ton of money a year. I'm not like making 10. Shit, I'm so far this year I made barely anything. Haven't done taxes yet though. But I got kids to claim and shit. So I'm not worried about that. I'm just trying to survive. I got a Grubhub tax form and I got a Instacart. I got some from the internet too. I don't really know what the fuck it is though. It's like for $1,000 or something. Apparently I made $1,000 off the internet off something. Thank God for an Instacart though. I tell you what I'm probably gonna do this fall, go back to UPS, do that seasonal work. That pays good as fuck. No, I wouldn't shoot myself. There's no way I didn't even make 15 grand. Yeah, 15 grand. How would I have to pay 15 grand? Make 15 grand. I don't make a lot of money. I'm not a rich guy. So I don't worry about the IRS coming for me. What are they going to get? I don't have anything. I went one year and did my taxes, and the woman just kind of laughed. She's like, you don't really make, you didn't make anything. She's like, you're not getting anything back, you're not paying anything. You don't make anything. You don't have anything. People don't understand just how broke I am. They think I'm exaggerating it. I'm poor. Like I'm damn near homeless. Like if I lived in one of these cities like fucking these clowns live in, I couldn't live. I'd be living on the street. Couldn't afford to live in these big old giant cities where the rent is skyrocketed. I don't have all this money just pouring in for somebody to take. There's no money. Like when I got hit by that car, I was talking to the lawyer, and he was like, he's like, you don't have anything, you know, you don't have anything, because he was explaining how the medical bills get paid by the insurance, and he's like, they can try, I guess, to get more out of you, but you don't have anything to get, so they're just going to take the money the insurance company pays them, because you don't have anything, and it's a giant waste of time for them to try to come after you. Like you don't understand. You don't have anything. There's nothing for people to get from you. What are they gonna get? What a waste of time for them to try to get something. It's like I walk around. I go out in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, right down to the gym. Nobody's fucking bothering me. I look like a bum, dude. I'm dressed like a fuck. I'm in sweatpants and shit. Not fucking. I'm on a bike or something. I'm walking. Nobody's fucking bothering me. What the fuck do I got? And if you did rob me, what a waste. What a waste. Because I don't have no money on me. I got cards on me. There ain't none on him either. Thank God I'm not in massive debt though from like credit cards and shit. Thank God. Like I'm just broke, but like if I make money, I don't. I just have to pay my bills. I don't owe it to like a giant corporation or like student loans or something. Thank God. I don't make a lot of money. It's not like I made 100K last year or something off Instacart. I've been live for like an hour. What's we talking about? I'm on YouTube live right now. Been waiting on you to show up. Been patiently waiting. I mean, I need a link. This server I found has a it keeps track. This server I found keeps track of everyone you kill and your total kills and your KD ratio. Your thoughts? Never seen anything like this. What? Yes. Well, I've been live for 23 minutes. Close enough. I'm gonna watch all three of them right now. You can Instacart anywhere there's grocery stores, I believe. I gotta figure out how to get breakfast in the morning. Make another deal for tomorrow. We're about to watch all three of them. That's 3 a.m. for you. That's fine. That's 6 o'clock in the morning for me. What? I need a deal. Let me see. Let me add it up in my head while I load this link.
This program contains graphic material, including.
Oh, God. Dude, I seen some crazy shit on Twitter. I think it was like a cartel video or something. It's crazy the shit you see on Twitter now. Some guy, they were trying to like slit his throat, like cut his throat. They started sawing at it with a knife. The knife was dull, wouldn't cut him. At first I thought it was like some type of joke video or something. Like they're trying to cut him and he's like acting weird. He's like talking. He's like, "Oh." Then out of nowhere, they just shoot him in the fucking head. I'm like, oh shit. Here I'm thinking it's some type of troll video or something. Like I don't know, like some type of skit or something. They try to the blade's dull, or I'm like, they just blow his fucking brains out. I'm like, oh, that was real. Okay, Jesus Christ. Every day you just see someone die in a gruesome way, just randomly while scrolling around on Twitter. Like, Jesus Christ, Elon. And they're so desensitized to it, just go, oh, damn, all right. Yeah. I guess it's going to rust. Dude, this dude's killed over 1,000 people on this server. I might stay on this server. This server is a 6-time, too. I don't know how they did it. I've never seen one above 3, but you get 6-time. You get 6,000 stone per node. They got the kill feed there with the. They got the KD ratio. They got the kill count. Look at that. The kill feed. Oh, you said don't start it.
Of language. Viewer discretion is advised.
Discretion is advised.
Santa Rosa, California, 2002.
What? You said pause it again? I can't hear this motherfucker. Oh, I see why. Say something now. You said it. How would I know? Oh my God. I'm 18 seconds in. Yeah, history channel logo at the beginning.
This program contains graphic material, including offensive language. Viewer discretion is advised. Santa Rosa, California, 2002. A rumble erupts between two rival gangs.
Bad boys. What you gonna do?
I think it's just something that's been embedded in their heads.
I actually got a great deal for you. You're gonna like this deal. You're gonna want to do it. I'm about to, because of what it is. It's been something you've been asking for years. This deal.
It started deep inside and over time spilled out onto the streets.
I haven't figured it out yet. I'm watching this guy.
To me how such a small number of individuals can have such a vast influence across the state of California.
Those individuals are the elite members of the Nuestra Familia.
When America descends into chaos, what gang do you think is going to take over what area?
You utilize people that can bring you the money and the power. And when they're no longer useful, you discard them.
We go deep inside this secret world.
Yes, it's all out, just war like that. Everything. There's been some type of chaos. The government is fucked up. like a bomb goes off during the State of the Union or some crazy shit, and then it's just lawlessness, chaos, almost like The Walking Dead without the zombies. But wouldn't one? I mean, they're gonna fight it out to the death, right, and take over, right? There's no cops anymore and shit. So who's gonna take over?
Where? If you give me an order, do it.
You're the expert.
Well, do you. That's the main policy of the NF. It's a blood in, blood out oath that once taken can't be revoked. You're not allowed to step back and drop out of any of the organizations. Bottom line, as soon as you step back, you become a target.
Blood in, blood out.
Salinas, California, May 21st, 2001. Here in the Chinatown district, heroin dealer Raymond Sanchez crossed into territory belonging to the powerful gang, the Nuestra Familia, Spanish for our family. He'd been warned by the gang, also known as NF, to stay out of Chinatown. Sanchez didn't listen.
Ray Sanchez was not a member of the Nuestra Familia, but he wanted to sell his drugs in the same place as NF members. Hence, you had a conflict.
On a warm spring night, Sanchez stepped inside Cap's saloon and was spotted by wannabe NF gang member Armando Frias.
Frias was in the bar. He was playing pool with some friends. And when Raymond walked into the bar, they realized they had their opportunity.
Sanchez had been placed on NF's hit list. But before Armando Frias could kill him, he needed permission from this man. A 38-year-old gang lieutenant who we will refer to as Casper. I get a call one night. So, he's over at Cap Saloon. Our homeboy has him in his sights. What do you want to do? Casper ran the streets on behalf of the Nuestra Familia's incarcerated leaders. All hit jobs had to go through him. But in this case, Casper said no go. I told straight up, I told you guys not to touch the guy. Don't do nothing. I'll leave it be. But Armando Frias and his comrades never got those orders. What happened next was captured on a hidden security camera.
Armando came in after getting the gun, basically stood at a wall, took a deep breath, and walked up, and then shot Raymond in the back of the neck.
Sanchez stumbled from the bar and collapsed dead in an alley.
Just a cold, calculated murder. Never gave Raymond a chance.
When news of the killing reached Casper, he was outraged. I'm the guy running the streets. You're an NF member. You're going to listen to what I got to say. Bottom line, whether you like it or not. There's no room for negotiation in the cutthroat world of the Nuestra Familia.
Don't do what you're fucking told.
Every NF member swears by the oath, blood in, blood out. Which means the only way in is to shed blood. The only way out is death. For an individual who is looking to become an NF member, he's got to have that dedication to where at any given time he can either be killed or have to kill. He has to come to that understanding. Recruits to the gang are expected to sacrifice not only their life to the Nuestra Familia, but also their freedom. He has to really dig deep down in his heart and know that he's got to be doing life in prison one day. He's going to become a lifer. That's because it's behind bars that the gang's power and top leadership reside. And when those leaders give an order to kill, anyone loyal to the NF has no choice but to follow it, whether it be on the streets or in prison.
I mean, some of these guys have literally done this to the point where they came in maybe doing a 2-year term and ended up doing a life sentence.
There's an estimated 500 official Nuestra Familia members behind bars and tens of thousands of additional foot soldiers known as norteños.
Jesus. I got a whole fucking army.
Those foot soldiers make up a loyal army of followers on the streets that help generate money for the organization. The NF have established illegal drug enterprises in California cities like Modesto, Salinas, and Santa Rosa.
Whether it's methamphetamine, heroin, or cocaine, marijuana, they are out there trying to control that drug trade either by bringing the drugs into the city themselves or by taxing drug dealers that are operating in the city.
It's an industry worth several $1 million per year for the gang, on top of its prostitution, extortion, and identity theft rings. But the NF faces competition from its longtime rival, the Mexican Mafia, also known as Sureños, Spanish for Southerners. They are the predominant Hispanic gang in Southern California.
They call them scraps or sewer rats. There's an ongoing rivalry between Mexican Mafia and the Nuestra Familia and Sureño gang members.
6:48.
The Northern and Southern California gangs have been at war for over 4 decades. The feud started inside the prison system and
6:57. I paused it. 6:57. I paused it. Waiting on you.
later spread to the streets with the rise of the Mexican Mafia in the 1960s. A group of Hispanic inmates from Los Angeles had formed the Mexican Mafia in 1957 at the Dual Vocational Institution, 62 miles east of San Francisco.
Originally, with the formation of the Mexican Mafia, it was about the race, the Hispanic race. It was to protect the race. It was to educate the race. It was to better the race.
The inmates who made up the Mexican Mafia largely hailed from LA and were recent immigrants. They had little in common with the Hispanics from the north who found work in the agricultural fields of the Salinas Valley.
The Southern Hispanics, being the big city guys from Los Angeles Basin, always thought that they were much more sophisticated than the Northern Hispanics, the ones who had to work the fields.
The Mexican Mafia viewed these dumb sodbusters, as they called them, as not worthy of really bringing into their circle, and actually as pretty easy targets.
San Quentin State Prison, 1968. After years of suffering the Mexican Mafia's abuse, Hispanic inmates from the north finally reached their breaking point. A dispute over a simple pair of shoes touched off an open war between Northerners and Southerners.
And what happened was a guy who was in San Quentin prison. He wanted to find his shoes. So he goes out in the yard and he sees this guy wearing his shoes, and the guy's a Mafia member. He goes, "Those are my shoes, I want them back." I said, "Well, they're given to me, I'm not giving them back." So it resulted is what they call the War of the Shoes. The Northerners got together and they
War the fucking shoes. Men, grown men fighting over shoes.
We've had it with them.
The Northerners united and fought back as a cohesive
It's really not
force
about
for
the shoes, it's about the
first
respect.
That gave rise to a new prison gang,
The principle of it.
the Nuestra Familia, or NF. The NF adopted the Huelga eagle as one of its symbols. It was used by the United Farm Workers and labor leader Cesar Chavez, a leading voice for the working conditions of migrant farmers.
The Nuestra Familia mirrored itself with the United Farm Worker movement, and then they saw themselves being from rural Northern California, so they did find that connection.
The similarities aren't at all like Cesar Chavez's, which were for the benefit of most people. This is for the benefit of criminal gang members.
The color of choice for Norteños was red, contrasting the blue colors worn by their southern arch enemy, the Sureños. The dividing line between Norteños and Sureños has traditionally been Bakersfield, California. And for most Hispanic gangbangers in the state, your affiliation is a simple matter of geography. But the ex-gang lieutenant known as Casper got his start as a Sureño before he switched sides to climb the ranks of the Nuestra Familia.
I did a lot of deals with people that were into gangs, gang-infested neighborhoods, gang members. So I eventually started associating myself with certain people, which were Southsiders.
Casper went to jail for burglary by the time he turned 19. After prison guards caught him stabbing another inmate, authorities transferred him upstate to San Quentin in 1986. Casper soon learned his new home was a hotbed of conflict between Sureños and Norteños. Casper's cousin, a Norteño who had officially gained membership into the Nuestra Familia, approached him in the prison yard and made a pitch.
You understand what the North and Southern wars are about. So if there ever is a war between us, or you represent blue, I represent red, we will have to end up doing something with, to one another. Because I can't protect you, you can't protect me. We represent each other.
He offered to take Casper under his wing and give him an entry-level position in the Nuestra Familia.
I decided to go ahead and come to the other side.
He realized that joining the NF was an all-or-nothing commitment.
Well, I more or less adopted these people as my family. And whatever I had to do for my family, I had no questions about it. If you wanted me to kill somebody, no problem. If you wanted me to stab somebody, no problem. If they deserved it, oh well.
May 2000,
Well, goddamn.
Sonoma County, California, America's wine country. Rival gang members cross paths at a Cinco de Mayo celebration, sparking a sudden and heated battle between Norteño Red and Sureño Blue. Once the dust settled, 3 men had been shot and 2 had been stabbed. It marked another grisly episode in the two gangs' blood-soaked history.
I think it's just something that's been embedded in their heads out in the street. You claim blue, you claim red, go kill each other.
It's a war that Casper had fought in as a soldier for the Sureños. But while serving time in San Quentin for burglary, a cousin convinced him to switch sides and join the gang's enemy, the Nuestra Familia.
When I was pulled into probation under my cousin's tutelage, he was only on the yard for another 4 months. He didn't get any type of schooling. All I knew is my enemies were now Mexican Mafia and Southside. That's it. Until I met up with Big Smiley.
Big Smiley was a high-ranking NF general named Art Ramirez. When Casper learned that he had been moved into the cell below him, he sent Big Smiley up.
I knew he was somebody that was high rank in the organization. It just so happened that he was my gangster's neighbor. So I was able to get access to him. We could send messages back and forth.
Big Smiley became Casper's mentor, teaching him the ways of the Nuestra Familia.
He was basically doing my base schooling on certain rules and regulations and how I would implement security and things of that nature.
Part of Casper's education included learning the strict codes and chain of command established by the NF. He soon learned that the prison gang operated with a military structure.
Your leader was what they called the general, Nuestro General. Then they had captains, lieutenants, squad leaders, and soldiers.
The top 3 generals constituted what's called La Mesa. La Mesa was the governing board for the Nuestra Familia. The most notorious of these generals was Robert Babo Sosa. He became Nuestro General in the 1970s. A ruthlessly pragmatic leader, Sosa allowed his own brother to be executed for leaving the NF.
That's fucking cold shit.
Joe Gonzalez was just as unforgiving.
Allowing your own brother to be executed.
Death row before his case was reduced
Like that
to a
movie.
life sentence, earning him the nickname Death Row Joe.
Death Row Joe had no patience for fools. And his answer to everything was, if they're breaking the rules and they're not going along with the program, kill them. There were no questions asked. You did not question Death Row Joe.
Gonzalez is credited for having written the NF's Constitution, a document outlining the gang's structures, policies, and procedures. It is Death Row Joe who also established NF's defining principle:
Article 2, Section 5 says it is a automatic death sentence for a cowardice act, desertion, or a traitorous act. What that meant is that if you were going to join the Nuestra Familia, it was blood in, blood out. If you wanted out, then you had to die.
As the NF grew in size and power, Norteños used the letter N to identify their allegiance to the North. They also used the number 14, since N is the 14th letter of the alphabet. Detective Tim Elton of the Modesto Police Department shows the NF's ever-present influence on the streets of the city.
Well, we're here in West Modesto, and the area is pretty interesting. The X, Roman numeral X for 10, the 4 for 14, representing N in the alphabet, or Norteños. A lot of times with the graffiti, you'll actually see, some verbiage as far as what area they claim and who even might be the person that did the graffiti itself.
The gang's official symbol is a sombrero and a machete dripping with blood. Pitted against their rivals, the Mexican Mafia, the NF fought for its stake in the lucrative drug trade, as well as prostitution and gambling.
There would be pitched battles on the yards at San Quentin, Soledad, Folsom, wherever these two groups would meet with one another. It was on, as they said.
In 1972, Mexican Mafia leader Rodolfo Cheyenne Cadena called for a truce with the Nuestra Familia. He thought that all the fighting was bad for business. Cadena arranged a peace summit at Chino State Prison, but his plans met an abrupt end.
The summit never took place because Cheyenne Cadena was stabbed repeatedly by NF members, thrown off a tier, and then stabbed to death after he landed on the cement below. After that, it was total all-out war.
As more and more NF members got paroled in the 1980s, they stepped up their recruitment efforts on the streets.
The NF wanted to control all of California from Bakersfield north. To do that, you have to have soldiers.
They found no shortage of young men willing to sign up. Michael, a former Norteño, was seduced by the money and power that drew many into the gang's fold.
I seen them out there getting money, driving a nice car. I didn't have nothing. So I thought, hey, I want a piece of that too.
Yeah, but you just end up in prison. Most of these guys in prison.
Groups of gang membership in the Nuestra Familia. But the only way to earn that status was to serve time in prison. Budding recruits saw it as a necessary rite of passage.
One of the ways to recruit the young gang members is to make the guys inside seem like gods, almost. To seem invincible, as if they're at a pinnacle of some sort. And in fact, they are. In their society, the guys at the tops of these prison gangs have survived an extremely rough society to get that far.
The NF also promised Norteños something like an extended family with security and benefits. But for those speaking from experience, the reality is far different. A woman named Veronica works as an informant for police. She asks that her identity be disguised.
They tell you at a very young age, oh, we're your family.
I wouldn't even want my silhouette. Somebody could figure out who the fuck that bitch was.
We'll take care of them. We'll give them money. Once you're gone, once you're dead, once you're in prison, once you're in jail, they forget about your family.
This came out 7 years ago. Woman already dead, probably.
NF superiors to attack a fellow inmate. But he only got more time in return.
And they're just using you. They don't really care about you. I had a kid on the way and all that. They could have asked anybody else, but they asked me. I went ahead with it, did what I had to do, because I felt like my life was on the line.
The gang's rules extend outside prison walls to anyone making money illegally on their territory. Drug dealers and prostitutes working on Norteño turf were required to share 25% of their earnings with the NF, also known as gang taxes. Failure to pay on time met with the severest of penalties.
The body of a guy found down in Fresno. He was a drug dealer, wasn't paying his taxes, so they killed him to make an example of him. There's a woman who was a prostitute. She wasn't paying her taxes either.
Northerners, you're supposed to take care of your own, but it seemed like every single day they were looking for
any reason to slice or kill one of their own who was alive for samples.
Despite the brutality of Norteño prison culture, gang recruitment surged during the 1990s. The Nuestra Familia's ranks swelled from a few hundred official members to more than 1,000. Rising stars in the NF, like Casper, viewed gang life as a calling.
I've seen it in a military light, in a light where they were teaching me discipline, they were teaching me knowledge, they were teaching me weaponry. Their concept was, we are going to make these individuals into straight fighting machines. Bottom line.
Casper completed his gangland education at San Quentin in July 1994. Acting on orders, he jumped a Nuestra Familia dropout and beat him to a savage pulp. He nearly killed the man with his bare hands.
Hey.
The attack earned Casper a prize ticket to the Nuestra Familia's seat of power, Pelican Bay State Prison. He would now serve under the NF's most ruthless and elite leaders. His ambition would take him to new heights, and authorities would eventually catch on.
We began to keep an eye on him. He's smart, he's charismatic, he has risen in the ranks very quickly, and the NF has big plans for him.
Crescent City, California, January 10, 1995. A 31-year-old felon known as Casper entered Pelican Bay State Prison, a supermax facility that held more than 2,000 of the state's most violent inmates. The prison also serves as home base for the Nuestra Familia.
Pelican Bay is the seat of power. It's their Washington, D.C. That's where the orders flow out to the regimental commanders who are on the street in various areas of California.
For Casper, the prison offered an opportunity for advancement.
I knew Pelican Bay was headquarters. I knew that's where all the shot callers were at, all the captains.
Casper had nearly beat another inmate to death at San Quentin, earning himself a 15-month sentence in Pelican Bay's SHU. The Security Housing Unit, or SHU, is one of California's most secure prison facilities.
Best way to describe the SHU is it is a prison within a prison.
You're locked down 23 hours a day. You have nothing else to plot, scheme, plan, school.
I'd say about 95% of the time, you can hear a pin drop in that unit, and there's almost 1,200 men living under one roof.
The heads of the Mexican Mafia, the Black Guerrilla family, and the Aryan Brotherhood all resided there. So did the Nuestra Familia's elite generals, who pulled the strings of an organization with thousands of foot soldiers on the streets of Northern California.
To hatch an idea in Pelican Bay, to have somebody hundreds of miles away to act on your idea, to be able to manipulate somebody on the outside, to be that master manipulator, that is power.
Throughout California's prison system, NF leaders drilled its soldiers like it was boot camp.
The workouts that we do, those were in the military. I don't know if you ever heard of burpees, which is military push-up.
Had them motherfuckers out there training like they're in the army.
Like in a squat position, drop down into a push-up position, do a push-up, come back up, jump back up into that squat position and stand up.
They also encouraged them to read books about history, law, and philosophy.
Well, I started educating myself as far as reading Socrates, Machiavelli, Eastern philosophy, Sun Tzu, Mao Zedong.
Even in the lockdown conditions of the SHU, NF members were able to communicate. Through the use of fishing lines, they passed messages back and forth, instructing recruits on practical skills, like writing in code and making crude weapons.
I had to make knives that's just straight paper.
Paper knife.
Make them work. I've shot an arrow where it's gone through a person's neck all the way through. Other people have shot people with arrows that are dipped in feces and piss, and it's put into a cup, and you just let it sit there and ferment for days. So when you dip that tip of that arrow in there, and it penetrated the person's skin, that stuff would fester.
Casper's training inside the SHU shaped him up for his return to the general prison population. The NF had assigned him to help enforce security there.
There's so much war in prison and so much tension. And the hostility level is always high. You can have a weapon stashed somewhere in the yard, you can go to work, you're probably have.
By August 1995, Casper left the SHU and entered the general population at Pelican Bay. He began serving under a powerful NF captain named Gerald Quete Rubalcaba. Quete, whose name is slang for gun in Spanish, was a convicted murderer who took a liking to Casper and began mentoring him.
He started schooling me more on policies and
Quack.
prison politics as far as how our organization exists. It's a criminal enterprise.
Together, they ran a communications network that linked NF leaders to gang members on the outside. Casper took messages from the top generals and wrote them in an NF code based on the ancient Aztec language. He mailed the letters to a friend on the
They got his own
outside,
code language
named
and
Crazy
shit.
Girl, who then translated the letters and passed them on to NF street captains. As the gatekeepers of the NF's prison communications, Casper and Quete helped the generals control the drug traffic, set up bank accounts, and order murders. Then, in early 1998, a leadership change within the NF vaulted Gerald Quete Rubalcaba to general. Casper, who was Quete's right-hand man, was one step closer to the top of the NF hierarchy.
The thing that kept me going was one day I want to be somewhere else besides just a soldier. I didn't want to stay at that lower rank, and I knew in order for an individual to climb those ranks, you have to be educated and be able to lead.
One of Quete's first orders of business was to greenlight a hit on this man, Robert Brown Bob Viramontes, a 44-year-old former gang chief and member of the Nuestra Familia's elite council. After 20 years of loyal service, Brown Bob was enjoying a rare accomplishment in the NF, semi-retirement.
You know, once you get back, go out there, you know, be with your family. If we need you, we'll contact you.
But Brown Bob appeared to be cutting all ties. He began speaking to youngsters about the dangers of gang life, and there was more.
And then we had found out that he covered up the family tattoo on his back, which is no.
That was enough. Quete told Casper to put a message out on the streets to get rid of Brown Bob.
Get it out to his brothers. They know what needs to be done. I said, okay.
The following spring, as Brown Bob was watering his rose bushes, a pair of gunmen ambushed him. They pumped 7 rounds into his arms, legs, chest, and back.
They chased him out of the garage.
Water in the bushes.
He died. He didn't run into the house because his wife was in the house and his 2 boys were in the house. And he knew that if he went in the house, they'd follow him and they'd kill any witnesses.
The murder became a statement on the streets. Even the most elite members of the gang were expendable. And Quete had other plans. In a ploy to rapidly expand the organization, an edict came down that became known as El Norte Law. It stated that all Northern California gang members that wore red were now under the umbrella of the Nuestra Familia.
They're not operating on a unilateral basis. They are operating as one huge entity, and that the main focus of their violence should be directed at the scraps, the Sureños.
The NF adopted an unusually public profile in spreading the message about their new law. The leaders promoted a gangster rap CD whose lyrics invited all Norteños into the NF family.
I can kill a scrap if you want me to. Dracula.
Masterminded by Quete and Casper, they tapped NF member Robert Grattan to set up shop in Modesto and get the album produced. Generations of United Norteños, or GUN, sold thousands of copies in Northern California.
And it was a shocking album to come out because up to this point, the Nuestra Familia had not really wanted all that much publicity. But here they were, right out front.
Seemed like every time we made a traffic stop or talked to
You got that album, Briggy?
we would find them in possession of either a flyer for the gun CD, a poster, or the CD itself. I mean, it was absolutely everything.
The album's message alarmed police, and its popularity convinced them that the Nuestra Familia posed a growing threat.
I can kill this brat if you want me to, not just for you, but for my damn self too.
Every song on that album contained lyrics that told young northern Latino males to kill as many young southern Latino males as they could. And if you were to do this, you were doing the work of your organization, the Nuestra Familia.
Over the following months, authorities saw more evidence of the CD's influence.
Kids that typically declared a certain set, east side, west side, north side, now all of a sudden it was always, I'm a northern or I'm a norteño.
And just as the NF was being unified, a treachery at the top would cause one of its most valued soldiers to turn his back on his family.
When I seen that betrayal take place at that high of levels, it just turned me on. I was pissed.
He wasn't having it.
Salinas, California. Nicknamed America's Salad Bowl, the Salinas Valley is also a hotbed of violent gang activity. August 1998. A controversy that began in Pelican Bay erupted on the streets of Salinas. From deep inside the prison, NF Captain Michael Mikio Castillo had been marked for murder by the NF. Castillo was caught in the middle of a power struggle between two NF generals over who would control the Salinas drug trade.
This person's not getting along with this person. He thinks he's getting too much money. He's not getting his cut. There's a problem.
But before the hit took place, police learned of the order.
We went to Michael Castillo and we warned him. And he disregarded the warning. He went to have a meeting with another Nuestra Familia member by the name of Rico Garcia. Garcia shot him and killed him on orders from Rico's bosses in Pelican Bay State Prison.
Up until this time, the police had suspected there was a link between the NF leaders in Pelican Bay and the Norteños operating on the outside. And the murder of Michael Castillo proved the connection. It showed the NF's power and ability to reach beyond prison walls and take control of gang business on the streets.
This assassination took us from just doing street work to looking inside the prisons. We needed to go to Pelican Bay and find how this all took place.
Santa Rosa detective George Galord was already running an investigation into Hispanic gangs in Northern California called Operation Black Widow. He began working closely with prison officials at Pelican Bay to recruit inmates as informants. Galord was successful. In 2 months, he had a source, a Nuestra Familia member codenamed Red Raider. The informant laid out the gang's leadership structure for Galord, listing the generals and captains. He also identified another major player to watch.
He told us about a particular up-and-coming Nuestra Familia member. We could see he was training under the most powerful person within the NF, and that was Quete Rubalcaba.
Crescent City, California, May 18, 2000. After serving a 7-year sentence at Pelican Bay, Casper was released on parole. He had orders from Quete and the other NF generals to run their street operations throughout Northern California. He was now the highest-ranking NF member on the outside.
I had to make sure that each big city, Sacramento, San Francisco, Oakland, Bay Area, San Jose, all had a regiment in place, and those regiments were functioning. So we made sure that they were working by the organization rules.
A few weeks after Casper was released, authorities intercepted a letter he tried to send to the generals at Pelican Bay. Communicating with the NF was a violation of his parole, and Casper was headed back to prison. But not before he was paid a visit by investigators.
A bug was put in his ear. Hey, we know what you're about. We know that you're out here to do the NF's bidding. Now, you can make a choice. You can work with us right now, or you can get a hold of us later.
Casper chose to stay silent, and authorities shipped him off to Corcoran State Prison for a 6-month stretch. What Casper didn't know was that the Nuestra Familia had launched an internal investigation into his boss, Gerald Quete Rubalcaba. The other generals suspected Quete of embezzling money from the NF, but they needed the evidence. Quete knew that there was only one man who could prove he was stealing, and that was Casper.
Gerald Quete Rubalcaba came to believe that he could escape unscathed in this investigation as long as they didn't talk to one person who knew too much. And so Gerald Rubalcaba began a campaign saying that he had been not fulfilling his obligations, that maybe he was not right for the organization. And it doesn't take a lot to get suspicions to be aroused.
Soon after Casper arrived at Corcoran State Prison, he learned that Quete had ordered a hit on him. The news came as a major blow for Casper.
I felt betrayed. I mean, it was a betrayal. I mean, for him to turn around and put a green light on me after I've done everything for the organization that I could, and we're talking about a lot of stabbings and stuff like that. I'm not just talking just paperwork.
By the time Casper got out of prison in December 2000, another general had stepped in on Casper's behalf, and Quete backed off the hit order. The NF kept Casper on board as its street commander, but nothing would be the same. He wanted revenge. Just before Christmas, he called authorities and told them he wanted to talk.
The reason that he decided that he wanted to work with us is because of betrayal. It wasn't until we got to know him a little bit better that we understood the level of betrayal that he felt by those with whom he had entrusted his life.
He showed me this big placard that had all these faces and stuff, and had a big old question mark on my name and my pictures. Where do you sit in all this? Put the picture up, put it up there, and they were like, oh. I said, no, you guys, if you want a deal, we'll deal.
Tracy, California, January 24th, 2001. 1 month after cutting a deal with the feds, Casper set up a meeting with NF gang chiefs at a Motel 6.
Ain't no way they couldn't watch this show and figure out who the fuck that guy is.
Microphone
No way.
captured this audio.
Lies are fake.
One of the local bosses, Henry Happy Cervantes, discussed killing 2 district attorneys from San Jose.
The NF was under the impression that one of the prosecutors had gone on a local television station and had referred to the NF members as trash and as punks. Punks in the prison vernacular is about as bad as it gets.
Now, once they did that, they made it personal.
As the NF street commander, Casper refused to authorize the hit.
Sit down. We're not going to kill no district attorneys right now. You know, it's a dead issue.
I have no doubt to this day that that gang would have committed those homicides. He was successful in saving their lives.
Casper continued hosting meetings with NF members that were secretly taped over the next 4 months.
I really didn't fear for my life, but I mean, it was always in the back of your head. But I just consider it payback to Quete for doing what he did to me. And by him betraying me, he betrayed the organization. Because the organization lost somebody that, you know, lived, breathed, ate NF.
On April 20th, 2001, Operation Black Widow snared its first targets. Federal agents arrested 13 members of the Nuestra Familia, 6 of whom were already incarcerated at Pelican Bay. Among them, Casper's former mentor, Gerald Quete Rubalcaba. With the pressure on, the NF began showing signs of disarray. Casper was still working undercover when things got ugly a month later. His crew in Salinas wanted his permission to kill Raymond Sanchez, a Norteño dropout who had been dealing heroin in NF territory. As a government informant, Casper was instructed not to sanction any acts of violence.
I told him, you know what? We're not touching this guy. We're not going to start a war over turf.
But Casper's orders never got to the triggerman. A young Norteño named Armando Frias carried out the hit.
Frias walked in, shot Ray Sanchez in the back of the head, completely unaware at the time that he was on full videotape.
Casper blew up when he heard the news.
Had I been still acting under the capacity of a regular NF member, I'd have had him killed for disobeying that order. But so I can only get so mad at the guy.
Armando Frias was soon after arrested in Oklahoma. Casper would last another 10 weeks as an informant. And in the coming months, the remaining NF leadership would be taken down. June 2001, Operation Black Widow came to an end. The investigation had produced indictments against a total of 21 gang members, including the NF's top leaders. The charges included murder, drug trafficking, extortion, robbery, and racketeering. All 21 defendants eventually cut plea deals rather than face trial, as well as the government's star witness, a former NF lieutenant nicknamed Casper.
The evidence that he supplied was paramount in getting most of the charges against the higher-ups.
There's no way they wouldn't know who the fuck this guy is.
In an effort to dismantle the NF's leadership, many of those convicted would serve life terms at the Supermax prison in Florence, Colorado. In the wake of Operation Black Widow, a power vacuum was left at the gang's longtime headquarters, Pelican Bay State Prison.
They're going through, certain rough areas right now. They're fighting for power. But that's something that, been done for years.
But even with its ongoing leadership problems, few expected the Nuestra Familia to disband anytime soon.
You cut off one head, it's got a bunch of other heads. The guys in Pelican Bay are in charge of tens of thousands of believers within the state of California.
Despite law enforcement's efforts, after 4 decades, the Nuestra Familia remains an institution on Northern California streets. Recruitment efforts remain strong for the next generation of gang members.
Girls, cars, dope, alcohol, good times, parties, staying out late, kind of doing the things that, they know they shouldn't be doing, but, they just can't refuse.
For many recruits, the hard reality sets in after it's too late.
I think the thing that really opened my eyes was like the penitentiary, because when I was there, it was like a whole lot of brainwashing. That's what it seemed like, and a lot of the stuff they were kicking I didn't believe in. It's basically just a bunch of people that are doing life, utilizing the young people.
This gang doesn't want to adopt your kids. They don't want to embrace your kids. They want to enslave your kids. They want your children to come to state prison with them. That's where they need the numbers. That's where they need new young blood, new young soldiers, to do their work inside the prison.
As for Casper, the former NF lieutenant turned government informant, he is currently living in a small town in Middle America. He knows there are many Norteños who would like to see him pay for taking down the Nuestra Familia's leaders.
That's talking to this. I know I made it that far. I did what I had to do. They were looking out for their best interest when they stuck me in the back, so I had to look out for my best interest.
Damn. No way they don't know who he is. No fucking way. Send it. Penis Maple, your thoughts on Penis Maple, your thoughts on what you just heard. Sounded like a big waste of a life. Send it. I don't know. Doubt it. Mafia is a little bit more sophisticated. Uh-uh. Send it. Where is this link? God, a cookie sounds nice. Will we ever see this link? Maple, your thoughts on The Rock beating the fuck out of Cody Rhodes? Yep. I gotta quit crying.
How does this mystery work?
Send that link.
If you haven't tried Native's shampoo and conditioner, then watch this.
Do you accept that contract for the bagel, egg, bacon sandwich?
Native is the best shampoo.
My name's John Mendoza. I was in West Virginia prison.
Mhm.
I was a Category 3, and I was a regimental commander.
You're the one saying, watch one. I said, watch all three.
This is how crime works. I've been to San Quentin, Pelican Bay. In the early 90s, they put us out there with Southern Mexicans and their brotherhood, the Nazi lowriders. Those were our enemies. They were putting us out there on the yard together, and we were going out there fighting. If you were crafty enough to bring a weapon out, we'll try to kill each other. I went to prison in 1988 when I was 18 years old. Some of my was in the county jail with me.
Why?
My name's John Mendoza. I'm a former member of the West Virginia prison gang. I was a Category 3. I was a regimental commander in different parts of Northern California. And this is how crime works.
Got your neck right, beat it.
In San Quentin,
Yep.
Pelican Bay. In the early 90s, they put us out there with Southern Mexicans and the Aryan Brotherhood, the Nazi lowriders. Those were our enemies. They were putting us out there on the yard together, and we were going out there fighting. If you were crafty enough to bring a weapon out, we'll try to kill each other. I went to prison in 1988 when I was 18 years old. Some of my older homeboys that were there in the county jail with me basically told me that, when I get to San Quentin, that the NR is going to approach me about making a commitment. I knew who to look for. The first time I went out to the recreation yard, there was a group of individuals that were in the corner that were covered with tattoos. Those were the NR members. From that point on, they put me on a 90-day probationary period. It's like you're functioning within that movement, but you're not an actual member. You can do anything that they ask you to do. Stabbing somebody, keeping security on somebody, holding paperwork, holding a weapon. A lot of guys that make a commitment because they want the status, they want the title. Those guys are going to end up getting weeded out because they're not making the commitment for the right reasons. They're not true believers. I was an NR member for about 5 years, 6 years. People take notice when you're functioning that long and you're not questioning authority, you're developing into a leader. Eventually, the NF is going to approach you because the NR, in essence, is like the NF's training grounds. I think it was 1994, I was approached by two high-ranking NF members, Smiley from Salinas and Mike Eel from Salinas. Induction process is similar to the NR. You go through an indoctrination process where you learn some of their concepts, their bylaws. You have a sponsor and you have the guy that actually pulls you. They're responsible for you. When you make a commitment to the NF, it's a lifetime commitment. I was asked things like, are you willing to kill your own flesh and blood? Are you willing to put the organization first before everything else in your life? Everything else that you were loyal to becomes secondary. They write everything down. There's 14 bonds, which is, I used to call it like my little toolbox. Everything that I needed to know how to function within that movement. Conduct, discipline. You're encouraged to study things like Middle Eastern philosophy, Socrates, revolutionary literature like George Jackson, Che Guevara. And then there's everything that you need to know about how to make weapons. I can make a stabbing instrument out of 15 pieces of paper. It's all about how you roll it and then how you put the point on. When your membership is sanctioned, there's like no big ceremony. They'll get together with you, maybe in a group setting out there on the yard. They'll say something like, today, we're welcoming the brother boxer in. Me, I was right there in San Quentin on the yard, and it was done similar. Hey, this brother's a carnal now. He's a familiano. From this point on, he's a member of the mob. It's like I felt like I reached a pinnacle, a point in my career where I had really accomplished something.
A career.
Everything that I've done.
Your thoughts about
was all
that,
worth
people?
it.
I'm calling it a career. Criminal career.
a new arrival will come in. We'll get his information. We'll get all his vitals. We'll get his name, his CDC number. We'll get a little bit about his history. We'll get things like his AKA, his age, his neighborhood, what they called him. We'll look on the BNL to make sure he's not on the BNL. So the BNL, the bad news list, we keep a roster of everybody that's coming in and out of that household. I'll send a filter out to all the members that are in that household, and I'll ask everybody, have you done time with this individual? This guy just drove up. Do you know him? Any good or bad information? That'll get filtered out. If nothing comes back, he'll be welcome into the household. Then at that point, he'll be given a care package. Soap, shampoo, coffee, toothpaste, things like that. When you first come in to an AdSeg or even a mainline, they give you what's called a 114 lockup order. That's like your passport. The gangs, they're going to ask you for that. But the only way you're going to get a lockup order is if they freely give it up. That's the only way we're going to get it. It's going to say on that lockup order, whatever gang that you're affiliated with, it's going to say things like if you got an S on your jacket, like a sex offense or something, it's gonna say it right there. So somebody like that, they you got an S, they probably wouldn't even give up their 114 lockup order because they already know what time it is. If you decline to give up that information, you're done. That's somebody that refused to comply with the program. Somebody like that's not going to be welcome out to the yard. If he tries to come out to the yard, he'll get hit at the gate. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of perks with becoming a member.
Stab that dude doing dips.
You're gonna get that rock star status kind of treatment from a lot of the youngsters out there on the streets and in prison. They look up to you. They call NF members just like they call Mexican Mafia members big homies. You're gonna have a lot of access at money. I've learned a lot of things that I still hold to this day, even though I'm not a part of it no more. Things like conducting myself a certain way. The NF is built, it's constructed or built under a paramilitary.
Now, how's this guy not dead?
A lot of the old NF members came from the Marines. They're ex-Marines. So they actually took a lot of the structure of the leadership in the military and brought it to the NF. You have like captains, lieutenants, commanders. A category 1 or for members that are just coming into the organization. They have no status over anybody else. Then you have a Cat 2. They've shown that they have leadership potential and they can give a correct interpretation of the Constitution. They'll become teachers for the Cat 1s. Now, in order to become a Cat 3, this is the cream of the crop. You need to be voted in. Then you have the inner council and the general council that basically make the decisions for the entire organization. You have a general for the prisons, you have a general for the streets, and then you have a general it's basically like a internal affairs. He handles investigations, internal disputes, things like that. When you're in the shoot, you might be in charge of like 200 guys. You're not really running the whole prison. There's guys out there on the main line, regimental commanders out there that are doing that. But on the streets, if you're a regimental commander out there, it might be 20 or 30 guys. I was a regimental commander all over Northern California at different parts. Each time, there was probably around 10 to 20 members that were under me at that time. A day for me, well, it depends. Like San Quentin, you're running H unit in North Block, West Block. I would have to sit there and answer some investigations. So you're getting daily filters or weekly filters from all these different blocks. All day long, I would just be getting inundated with kites. San Quentin is the worst
Look at that
place
little
to
ass
be
note he got to read. Now he
as
gonna read
far
that.
as being a leader.
Altoids, curiously strong winds.
Istanbul is a place.
Yeah.
The main rivals for the NF are the Mexican Mafia. They're following the Sureños. And then you have the Aryan Brotherhood, and they're following the Whites. On the main line, it's mixed. Everybody's mixed out there. The Norteños, the Sureños, the Blacks, everybody's mixed. If you're talking about in an AdSeg type of environment, a shoe program, everybody's kind of segregated. I spent all the 90s in the shoe program. When you see us out there on the yards and we're doing burpees and we're doing exercises out there, we're not out there doing that because we're just trying to get karate bodies and just trying to look nice, right? We're training for a war. That's what it is. They're getting ready to go to the shoe programs. They're going to be engaged in a conflict. So the shoe program is like a prison inside of a prison. They put you in a cell and you stay in the cell about 23 hours a day. You'll come out of the cell, for a half hour to take a shower, and then you might come out for yard. And you come out to a yard you got 4 concrete walls and a camera. That's all that's out there. You got plexiglass on the top. If you see a bird fly over, you're like, damn, I seen a bird today, man. You go back in there and tell people in the pod. In the shoe program, they got what's called a nerve system. Everything is electric up there in Pelican Bay. They sit up there and they push buttons all day. You got one cop up there that's in charge of 6 different pods. So he might forget somebody's in the shower, or he might forget that a door is open, and he'll press another button and somebody else will come out. You could be in there watching TV or working out 1 minute, and you be out on the tier in a fight for your life the next minute. It happened just that fast. So us as Norteños, all day our mattresses would be rolled up and we'd be sitting by the door. I mean, I get up and I work out, I watch my TV, but for the most part, whenever there was movement or activity on the tier, I would be posted up on my door ready just in case my door would open. Because a lot of times the COs would say it was a mistake, but it wasn't a mistake. They popped certain doors open for different reasons. I used to see them. I used to watch from myself.
That man wasn't playing around.
There's a lot of different places out there on the yards to bury weapons. Inside the buildings, up on like in the little rafters.
Maybe
We
I had
obviously
enough.
know where they're at, under sinks or in the walls, buried. They keister it, to move a weapon from one place to another. They'll put it in their anal cavity is how it's moved around. I don't know how you want to put that out there, but so I went through Cork and Shoe Wars back in the early 90s. We were going at it with the Mexican Mafia and the Aryan Brotherhood. They knew we were mortal enemies, that we would kill each other if we had a chance, but they would put us out on the yard. And they knew, the administration knew over there, you'd have to have your light on, and that meant that you wanted to go to yard. Guys used to turn their lights off because they didn't want no part of it. But those of us that remained active, we turn our lights on and we go out. It's like a little enclosure before you get out to the yard. And the yard's like it's kind of shaped like a piece of pie. When you get in that little enclosure, you can see through the yard door who you're going to go out there and get off with. So we go out, we fight. Always try to get yourself situated so that they have their back to the gunner, so that you can see what the gunner's doing, because we were the ones that were getting targeted. It was the Northerners and the blacks that were getting shot and killed over there. There's no warning shots per se, but what they have is they have it's called a Bertha or a knee knocker. It's like a gas gun that fires little wooden blocks. Sometimes they'll fire once, twice, and then they'll grab the real gun. But yeah, they don't give warning shots. Now the other thing though too is the COs are making bets. They would be like, "Hey, we got money on you guys, man. You guys better go out there and do your thing, man." Sometimes they would take their best fighters from one building and they would take the best fighter from another building and get them out there. When I first came in the system, I was young. I used to mean mug them. I used to have a bad taste, for certain individuals. And I didn't even know why I hated them. It was because I was supposed to. That's the mindset that was instilled within me. But being around them, a lot of them were just like us. They were solid dudes. If there's a Sureño and he needs some toothpaste, or I got a book and he wants to read it, we'll pass literature back and forth to each other. We can play chess on the tier. It doesn't do us any good to make that environment any more stressful than what it is. Now, like I said, if the gates open, we were directed to basically torpedo out and engage with whoever was on the tier.
There's some kind of misunderstanding here. We're American, okay?
If we were going to take off on staff, the guards, our politics might get set aside for a bigger purpose, to where, yeah, we might come together to go against the administration. You might see something like a small uprising within an AdSeg unit or something where we're not getting fed right. They're tearing up ourselves and disrespecting, personal possessions like pictures and things like that, where everybody says, you know what, we had enough. Let's just all board up, blocking your windows so that they can't see in there, which basically forces them to have to come in there and cell extract you. It's something that I was personally involved in before in Susanville. When we were going through the corp and shoe wars, people might debate this, but a lot of the COs were split as far as who they favored in that war. Even some of the female officers, it's just you could tell that they were either sympathizing for the North or they were sympathizing for the South. A lot of it is just is geography, where that prison's at, whether or not they got family that are that might be hooked up. So it just depends. Corruption is rampant in the county jails. I mean, you see a lot of relationships that happen where female officers are getting into relationships with inmates. The next thing you know, they're bringing in drugs. They're not getting that kind of stuff into the visiting room.
That's
They're getting it through
crazy.
corrupt COs. In prison, one of the things that is a huge problem are the cell phones that are coming in. But it's a huge business for COs. They can make anywhere from $1,000 to 4,000 bringing in a phone, a cell phone. Having the phones, it's a lot different because, again, when I was in the shoe program back in the 90s, you had, when we be back there plotting somebody's murder, there was a lot of lag time that was involved. Either it had to go out through a letter, a coded letter, a phone call, or a visit. And you'd have to wait maybe a week or two for somebody to drive 300-400 miles to come see you up in Pelican Bay. But now you put these cell phones in the hands of these leaders. If somebody's got a green light on them, they'll make a phone call. You'll get a leader that will call a figurehead on the streets, and it will happen in real time. Hey, this dude's got a green light on him. He's got to go. It might happen that same night. Let's say somebody came.
15:33. Cell phones in prison. There's 3 damn crates up there. Wife Day, April 29th. Must be March 29th. I didn't know when you own the server, you could put like vending machines like in the monuments. That's great.
On the tier, I was on the tier in the ad city or something. And he was like 6 cells down. I make verbal contact with him. I yell down there, hey, homie, they just came in. Hey, once you get situated, go ahead and make a line so that, I can get at you. Making a line is where you take the elastic from your boxers or from the strands from your sheet. You'll make a line and you'll tie them together so that you can put a weight at the end of it, and then you'll throw it down the tier. It's just like a way to get back and forth to the cells. So he'll tie the kite on there, and I'll pull it in, and I'll read it, and then I'll respond to it, and he'll pull it back. Ingenuity. There's a lot of different ways to do things like that. Covert communications. There's a language that we use in there is called Nawa. It's an Aztec language, and there's different dialects, but we use it so that if we're on a tier and we need to communicate, and there's officers on the tier, we can talk on the tier in front of them, and they're not gonna know what we say. There's very few people that know the whole language. They'll just know certain words like weapon, drugs, CO, hit, green light, things like that. Norteños, our color is red. Sureños, they wear blue. So the NF insignia, the sombrero, obviously it signifies the Mexican heritage. You got the dagger that signifies that this is a violent organization. And then each drop of blood characterizes its own individual meaning. So one drop of blood is for blood in, guys that have spilled blood coming into the organization, blood out, meaning anybody that tries to walk away from the organization, it's an automatic death sentence. And then the third drop of blood is for members that have honorably spilled blood that have died in the course of, their career. I had Nuestra Familia tattooed on the back of my head, and I got that covered up. I had a star on my hairline. When I had hair, that signified the NR. I had Familiano over my left eyebrow, being a family member in Spanish. And then I had a tattoo on the back of my forearm. I had an NF back.
With the Wells Fargo Active
Now, how's this guy not dead?
4% cash back on what you want, like for state plans. Like maybe shoes without laces. The Wells Fargo Active Cash Card. It's real life ready.
There. The whole purpose of generating money is supposed to be for the less fortunate members, that are doing life in prison that don't have a means to take care of themselves. That's what it's supposed to be.
What? What? Supposed to be the death sentence, he said.
It's a smokescreen, though. There's no trickle down effect. There's a trickle up effect. The money that comes in goes to the leadership.
Then why haven't they yet? Does that make sense?
The select few at the top of the hierarchy, and they're the ones that use that money for their own expenses. Some of it's used to invest in drugs and to invest in new regiments or new territory that breaking NF ground out there on the streets. If I got a visitor that's willing to bring in drugs, off the top, my gang is gonna require whatever, 25% of it, 50% of it, or I might even have to turn it all over to them, and they'll give me back what they feel that they want to give me. You're part of that gang. You're gonna take care of that gang or that criminal organization. The biggest thing in prison, county jails, the currency in there is soups. Everybody loves soups, top ramens. That's like a prison or jail currency right there. But obviously, you got weed, tobacco, then the hardcore drugs and things like that. Like a cup of that, it can go for like $50.
Big deal in
But
there,
you're
yeah.
talking about like a cup of something that's like vodka. I learned early on from a young gang member that the more violent I was, the more blood that I spilled out there on the streets, the more respect I got. The fastest way to elevate yourself within the organization is by hurting people. So out on the streets, the structure, you have your regimental commander, second in command, your squad leaders, and then your manpower. I would have a second in command, and he would be my buffer. He would collect the money. He would make sure that everybody's following policy, issuing out the drugs, the guns that were coming in off the streets. That was to kind of keep me insulated. In the 90s, when it was a lot different, the regiments were called colonias. Back in those days, everything was compartmentalized. You had a robbery crew, another crew that would sell dope. You had a wrecking crew. I think the influence has waned over the years, like a lot. In the 80s and the 90s, you couldn't testify against the NF and live in the same county. You wouldn't even want to be in California. The threat was it was very real back in those days. But once the three strike law came into effect, we kind of stepped away from the violent crime. The cuts, they're functioning. It's just not as it's not like it was. I want to say since like '68 is when the NF first came into inception. From that time on, that's when they took a stand against the Mexican mafia in South Block, San Quentin. This is basically when the NF banded together, decided that they weren't going to be abused by the Mexican mafia anymore. And from that point on, that's when the war started. So for almost the next 5 decades, that war was in effect. The truce actually started back in the shoe program in Pelican Bay. The end of hostilities, their agreement. Again, the whole purpose of it was for a lot of these guys that had been in the shoe program for some of them 3 decades, it was to get back out to the main lines and to basically show CDC that they could, live on the same yard without killing each other. So I thought it was a temporary thing. They were gonna get out there. Somebody was gonna push a line somewhere, and it was gonna kick off, and then it was just gonna be a domino effect. But it's lasted. I mean, honestly, I never thought in my lifetime that I would ever see the day when Norteños and Sureños would be out there on the same yards playing basketball with each other, walking laps with each other. But at the same time, there was a lot of house cleaning. Guys that had issues, internal issues within their respective gang were getting dealt with. Whether it was over misconduct, something came up in their past or something like that, there was a lot of house cleaning. And then there was a lot of guys that didn't agree with the peace treaty. They felt like, you know what, I didn't sign up for this, man. What are we doing? What about all the brothers that have spilled blood in the past? I think the violence is worse. When they let these guys out of the shoe program, all these leaders, guys that are from the 70s, from the 80s when I came to prison, they're starting to bring the old school back where they're not just poking people and slicing people up no more. You see all the murders that are happening out there. The Mexican mafia, the NF, they're behind it. They would rather eat their own right now, stab some of their own people. I mean, it's crazy. The politics that are going on right now, everything's going back.
He's going to kiss me. I know he's going to kiss me. I can see his eyes flutter from my hands to my lips, and then
Where's
It's over now.
in 2004, I was arrested in a multi-agency investigation where I was the leader of a street crew, an NF regiment. So I was the main target in that investigation. On the first day, on June 11, 2004, they raided around 8 houses that were in relation to this investigation. On the first wave, they hit my house where I had all my guns. They hit another house where I had all my money. By 2005, that case continued to snowball. They put me in an observation cell because they said I had too much influence with the Norteños. So they wanted to keep me isolated. And during that time, my whole concern was, my girl, she had lupus. I was trying to do everything I could to make it easy on her. I knew I was in trouble, but I didn't want to tell her because she had lupus, and for somebody like that, stress is a killer. So during the first couple weeks, talking to her, my mom on the phone, I had some difficult conversations with them. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna sacrifice yourself? Think about your family for once. My mom kept pushing me to cooperate. She kept pushing me to cooperate. You need to cooperate. Do what you do. Your wife's out here dying. What are you gonna do? And I basically started pacifying her, telling her whatever I needed to tell her. Let the case play out. I haven't even been to court yet. So what they do is, and understandably, they release my phone calls of how I've been talking to my girl. And all my co-defendants hear these conversations, about cooperating. Trying to explain that to the NF, it was going to fall on deaf ears because of who I was. I was a leader. I get held to different standards because I know better, and I got no business talking like that. This is 5 years later now. People are still speculating that I'm cooperating. Come on, man, it's 5 years and there's no police reports, there's nothing. So somebody that had an agenda pushed the issue with leadership up in the Bay. They put a green light on me. Nothing happened. It was literally the dude that tried to honoring the green light, tried to push a phone over in front of me on the tier. I still held my mud. I still wanted to be a part of the organization. 17 months later, they put me back on the active tier. I functioned for another 2 years, put another green light on me. And the second time it was just as bad as the first time. Somebody wanted to act like they were trying to spear me through the bars. The spear was like 2 feet too short, didn't have a tip on it. You know, my wife, she died. She ended up dying. My mom ended up dying. She passed away. So they did this at a time when I was already in a dark place. You know what I mean? I'm looking at life. I was getting ready to plead out. But then they pulled that. So I was like, you know what? I'm done, man. The district attorney wants to wash me up. You know, I'm in bad standings now with the NF. What do I do? Law enforcement again came up and they're like, you know what? Loyalty only goes so far. Come on, man. I agreed that I was done and that, that I would talk to him. So that's what I did from that point on. I denounced my membership and, I agreed to cooperate. However, the cooperation that I gave was just, I didn't go in as a percipient witness. Everybody that I got arrested with was gone. So I went in there basically talking about what I'm talking about now, how gangs work. The judge struck 2 of my strike priors, which took me out of the 3 strikes and gave me 16 years, 8 months. I've been in the county jail almost 10 years. None of that had to happen. If the NF would have let me fight my case, I would have been a big dummy sitting in Pelican Bay right now with a life sentence. Yeah, I was one of the true believers. But, by them pulling the trigger twice, I felt betrayed. For somebody that just doesn't want to be part of the organization no more, for them to walk away, to just ride off into the sunset and go on about their life and not hurt nobody, it's still not considered honorable, but it's something that people will say, you know what, at least he didn't tell on everybody. At least he didn't hurt nobody. But, there's never retirement. You'll never be able to walk away in good standings. I've had a couple of situations where I ran into some individuals when there are 15 of them. That's when everybody wants to get active. But, when I catch cats by themselves, they're not trying to do all that, And I'm not trying to look for trouble either, I'm trying to just live out the rest of my days without all the drama. I'm not going to spend the rest of my life looking over my shoulder. I grew up in San Francisco, California. My mom was a young heroin addict. She got involved with drugs at a young age. At the age of 11, I found my way back to my mom's from foster care. I found out she was using, and she didn't just give it to me. People are going to be like, what kind of mother gives their 12-year-old child heroin? I understand that, but I don't blame her. I look at it as she was stuck in her addiction at a young age. She got stuck in that cycle, and I kind of manipulated the situation. I told her I knew what she was doing, and if she didn't give it to me, I was going to go get it in the streets. And from that point on, for the next 40 years, that tore my life up in every way possible. From relationships to the choices I would make, me becoming involved in the criminal element. From then, I stopped going to school. I started drinking. That's when I started getting involved with gangs. It started with burglarizing cars, ripping out the radios, the speakers, selling them for drugs, robberies, home invasions, and then we started using weapons, and it just continued to escalate. From that time, it didn't take me long before I got caught up in the juvenile justice system. I caught 4 robberies, 1 out of San Francisco and 2 out of San Mateo. I took 7 years, ran consecutive, and they sent me to prison. My book is I've met, through talking to at-risk youth. I've talked to kids that um, have gotten in trouble. Probation officers come up and tell me that, these youngsters, they read your book and we actually use your book as type of like a workshop type of thing. The name of the book is called The Western Familia, Broken Paradigm. And so I started doing a YouTube channel, Paradigm Media News. I got a series on my channel. One's called Inner Demons, and the other one's called War Stories. It's also therapeutical to talk about it, to try to help some of these youngsters that might be um, headed for that type of lifestyle. I give them the fine print that they don't hear about until it's too late, until they make a commitment and they find themselves in that situation. I've seen a lot of my homeboys die throughout the years. Most of them are gone. There's only three roads you're going to travel in this lifestyle. You're either going to spend the rest of your life in prison, you're going to die um, trying to push the organization's advancement forward, or you're going to turn your back. There's no pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
He was having gladiator fights with him in the 90s. I'm surprised he's not dead. This came out 6 months ago.
It's time to
Well, send the next one. Yeah, I just finished it. Just finished it. We'll knock it out. You're at the finish line. Charge forward. All McDonald's locations will serve Krispy Kreme by the end of 2026. The McDonald's by my house has been doing it for months. It's nice. Good partnership there. Yeah, I mean, it's a prison game. I thought they were everywhere. Who did Dana White kick out of the UFC? Man, Brother, brother, Well, what's next? Your final video. Send it. Well, man up, finish it. Finish it, sign the next contract. That egg sandwich. Delicious egg sandwich. Imagine it. Puff Daddy. Be like $5. God damn. How about meet in the middle? Meet in the middle at 10, and I'll watch the last doc, and I'll watch the movie, and I'll review the sandwich. Five ain't gonna be enough because they're gonna take a fee out of it. Venmo takes a fee. Muffin. It's a bagel. Egg bacon bagel. $5. All right. Yep. Send it. I'll go live and review the sandwich. You'll be asleep. It'll be recorded. Finally figured out how to archive the streams from the phone. But, but, nah, go ahead and go to bed. I'm gonna go to McDonald's. I am live. I can't walk while I'm live. My phone don't have service. Gotta make 100. He's broke. He had to fix his car. Let's see if I got enough to order this. At 587 now. I think I will. And hopefully I got $1 left over. Get a wrap. Nice wrap. Tell you what's a good wrap to try. I tried it the other day. It's honey banana. Honey banana flavor. Nice. The honey flavor. Yeah, honey banana swisher. Yeah, I had one of them earlier. Banana smash. Nah, they have a banana smash and they have a honey banana. That's the thing about them Arab dudes. They get everything in there. They got all kinds of shit in there now. All kinds of flavors and wraps. No, they're not Arab. They're Indians. Them Indians don't play. It's it's legal. It's legal around here. They sell all kinds of shit at the gas station. Yeah, we got diamond. We got a platinum too. I don't really know what the hell that is. What's the difference? That's the difference between a diamond and a platinum. If they're both unflavored, then what the fuck's the difference? I'm gonna look it up. Yeah, I've seen it. I'm gonna look it up. Platinum Swisher Sweet. Yep, there it is right there. Swisher Sweets Legend Diamond are premium cigarillos made with the finest tobacco fillers, wrapped in a premium Connecticut shade leaf wrapper with all natural tobacco flavor. The mild body smokes have a mild flavor and aroma perfect for any time of day. So let me see here. They have a silver one too. What the fuck's a silver? What is the difference here? Swisher Sweet Swisher Sweet Diamond right there. I'm gonna find out what a silver is. Diamond is a flavor blend with their standard line. Silver is unsweetened. Silver is high quality non-sweet Swisher. Diamond is high quality sweetened Swisher. We'll take it up with the guy on Reddit. You ever smoked that one? It's like a fucking. Oh, you don't have them out there. It's like a swirl. It looks like a swirl. Maybe I can find a picture of it. Swisher. Swisher Swirl. Or no, maybe that's a white owl. Yeah, it's a white owl. Yeah, dude, chocolate and vanilla swirl. That sounds good. Strawberry kiwi. I've had that one. Triple grape. Red, black, green grape. Rocky Road. Damn, I wonder if they have that down at the store. That fucking chocolate vanilla. You ever had a chocolate swisher? That's nice with some nice candy bar. Chocolate swisher with a. You've never had the chocolate swisher? Yeah. I don't think every store around here sells it, but there's one that sells it. I guess that liquor store down by the gym. It had a chocolate one. Well, that's a nice flavor. When I won that lawsuit, I went to the store down there that sells all of them. I bought one of each flavor. Huh. Yep. Because I had a ton of shit to smoke, and so I needed shit to roll in. I can't remember. It was years ago. We did it to celebrate my victory. But the one in there at liquor store has like all kinds of them, chocolate, all kinds of different flavors. I think it's the only place I've seen the chocolate one. It's a nice chocolate swisher with a nice cookie. Amazing. And a glass of milk. Have you ever had the Arctic Blast or what? I think it's what it's called. Yeah, Wild Rush is good. That Arctic Blast is minty as fuck though. Yeah, I've tried the dust. I think the Swisher smokes better than the Dutch. I started getting Swishers again because I think they smoke better. I was getting those 4K wraps. You get four in a wrap. I feel like they burn quicker though. What? 4Ks? I don't know. I bought a Swisher the other day for, I can't remember why. Oh, they didn't sell 4Ks while I bought it. And I feel like it burns slower. So I was like, maybe I'll go back to Swisher. What is it? Never heard of that. Miracle, get up real quick. Thank you. All right, lay back down. You can lay back down now. Get you a nice honey banana. That honey swisher with a nice cold sweet tea. Great way to start the day. I don't even think they have that around here. When I'm up there, I'm gonna look. I tell you, the Tyson wrap. Have you had one of them yet? They're expensive. I think they're like $3 or some stupid shit, but they're not. My girl won't smoke them. She's like, she thinks she's allergic to them. She's like, I ain't smoking that. Something is in it. One wrap, but it's a good wrap. Like it burns slow too. I think if you had a lot to roll in it, you would want to get that. It's not something. If I was gonna get a Tyson, I'd roll a big one. If I'm just gonna roll a little tiny one, I'll just get a Swisher or something. Why spend all that extra three? I spend $3 on a little tiny blunt. That's for a big blunt because it burns slower and it's got shit in it or something. I don't know. You have to read the package. Mike Tyson. He sells cones too, blunt cones called the Toad. I feel like if five for $1, you're getting some cheap ass blunt. I guess a shitty blunt wrap. Nice. I'm gonna try to find the chocolate. I'm gonna try to find this damn chocolate vanilla swirl. White Owl. That looks nice. Have you had the cherry dynamite? Pretty good. And that liquor store up there by the gym has like every flavor of Swisher that's ever existed. A cream Swisher. I don't think I've ever had that one. Yeah, cream. Maybe I haven't. Cream Swisher. Peach Swisher. Tropical Fusion. Mango Swisher. Passion Fruit. I've had that. Purple Swish. I've had that. Yep. Dude, Wild Rush tastes like Kool-Aid when you smoking it. Tastes like you're smoking a glass of Kool-Aid. Good. Democrats. You voted for Democrats. Get when it's called getting what you deserve. Your freedom being taken away from you. It's all being taken away from you now. Why is it 5 o'clock in the morning? Why does it say this menu item is not available right now? It's breakfast time. Like, what the fuck? It's a breakfast item. I did with Anton a few times because he's good at rolling them. I hate rolling those. Yep. Yep. No. Don't those burn slower? Yeah, I rode a Dutch. Rogue's always telling me to roll one, but he never sends the funds to do it. I've had one before, a few times. All right, send, what's a Dutch cost? I'll send it all by one way home. Swisher Leaf. I've never had that. I might try that sometime. Tell you another brand. It's all right. It starts with an O. What is it? Optimo. Yep, that's not bad. The palm leaf ain't bad. Palm leaf. Yeah, I had the Garcia Vega a couple months ago. I bought one of them. I think you told me to buy that. I'm pretty sure. I don't know why else I would buy it. I remember buying one. I like trying different wraps. Might find something you like. Quit chewing on stuff. Cease and desist. What the fuck is a breakfast sauce? Sounds gross. I'm gonna take that off. No cheese either. Not a cheese guy. Not a cheese guy. Get mad about it. Okay. Egg, bacon, bagel. A little salt and pepper on it. Some butter too. Put butter on it. Comes up to $4.66. I had a coupon. Take $1.88 off. Always use a coupon. Yeah, it's cost more money though. What am I? Let me see. Is that even good for McDonald's? I've never had a steak sandwich from McDonald's. Is that even good? Steak, steak egg bagel is $5.99. It don't even look good for real. The bacon looks way better. Nice bacon bagel. They got sausages too. I'm not allowed to communicate with Parr anymore. I've been paid to ignore him by Rogue himself. He won't. He's very strict. These these rules. I want to go to the gym, but God, it's 40 degrees. What would Goggins do though? He would go. I did my legs and abs yesterday. I was going to go back today, do upper body. I worked out with no pre-workout yesterday, and it sucked. Yeah, doesn't that look gross as fuck? I don't even want to eat that. Like that. Fucking nasty. $4.66. That'll leave me with $1 left over. Send me. You said you'd send two for that Dutch. Send another six. You said you'd send two for a Dutch, but send another six for something else, then I can get pre-workout. Get it from Par. Get another. Oh, he ain't up anyway. Hell, I'm on New York time. 5 a.m. Might have to go to the gym, work out, no pre-workout again. Suck it up. You know how I got through it yesterday? I utilized Goggins. I watched a video of Goggins talking about you don't need that. And I said, you know what? He's right. I had a good workout yesterday. Like hit the legs good, and I hit my abs, but I didn't stay for the full body. There's no way. You can't do a 4 hour workout without pre-workout. Good luck. No, you can get in there and do a nice 2 hours and go home. I'm trying to get the abs toned up real good for the summer though, so I got to make time for the abs. I be neglecting them sometimes. I make time for them though. I didn't even see y'all commenting. I haven't went to the gym this morning yet. Gym doesn't even, well, actually, the gym's open 24 hours during the week, but I don't go to the morning time. I did yesterday morning. It was nice. I'm not getting a sausage biscuit. Ricky donated for a bacon egg bagel from McDonald's. Getting a sweet tea with it. Would get a hash brown. I don't want that nasty sauce. I don't even know. I don't want that. I don't know what that sauce is. I want that bagel. What I want. That steak makes me want to throw up looking at it. No thanks. I've had sausage and biscuits 3 days in a row. I can't eat another sausage biscuit. Enough. Have a bagel. Yeah, it costs a little bit more, but fuck it. And again, I could go to Wendy's. redhead. I love redheads. You calm down, little pup. Calm yourself down, little dog. Damn, it's Wendy's Wednesday. Free 6-piece nugget with purchase. If you don't quit trying to fucking bite me. I went through the Wendy's drive-thru on a bicycle the other day. Your thoughts? Dining room wasn't open. What can you do? We're right up there on the bike. They gonna give me my food. I know Marshall. She's driving you crazy. She's driving you nuts. She won't sit still. There's your links to donate, sir. Freaky still owes me Cinnabon pull apart from Wendy's. He promised it. He said, I'm going to get you that Cinnabon. I'm like, okay. And then I found out that was all lies. I'll never have it. Oh, looks good, too. I don't think I've ever had a Cinnabon. I'm not a big Cinnabon guy, but it looks good. So who knows? Teenage Maple, welcome back. You were getting a bit disgusted from that video and you ran out, it seems. Damn, breakfast biggie bundle for $3. What is this? Oh, this is kind of gay. I don't like coffee and I don't want a sausage biscuit sandwich. Suck my dick. Thank you. On it right now. Yeah. Or a double burger for $2. I've been getting the McChickens because they're free. I ate my last free one last night. So now I'm out. Wendy's is pretty far away. It's down there by the gym. And you two chill the fuck out. Well, if I get Wendy's, I can't get a wrap. And I need a wrap when I leave the gym. Looks like I'm going to McDonald's. Quit biting me. I've had enough. When is enough enough? Quit fucking fighting. It's also Whopper Wednesday. Get a $3 Whopper today. Every Wednesday they get a $3 Whopper. Free 6-piece nugget with purchase at Wendy's today too. Yep. Nope. I seen Brian Breaker going, wow, that was a crazy move he did. Your thoughts on my Raw review I put out earlier? Ricky said I could get him whatever I want. I have $5.80. No, I have $4.87. I gotta save $1 of that. Get a $3 and 18 cent maple bacon chicken croissant from Wendy's. Sound good as fuck. I think I'm gonna get it. They don't have 6 a.m. though. It'll probably take 4 mile bike ride. It'll probably take. I'm not even ready yet too. So yeah, be getting there right when they open. It's crazy how you can't even get some hash browns for $1 anymore. I mean, what the fuck, Joe Biden in this country? Used to be able to get a nice hash brown for $1 from all kinds of places. Now the hash brown at McDonald's is $2. I just want to fucking throw Junie off a bridge. Even though I don't want to do 4 miles on the bike to the gym, I'm going to make myself do it. Forcing myself to go. Like David Goggins. I went in the rain yesterday. Went in the cold the other day. It's cold again, 40 degrees. I'm going again. It was like 29 degrees. I said, fuck it, I'm going. Uh-uh. What about it? Yeah, Adam Sandler got to deal with Netflix. Yeah, could be good if done right. The big if. Yep, presumed dead. They did. She's a married woman. They're just making stuff up. That's a bunch of nonsense. It's not going anywhere. Probably not even true. Probably made up. They're trying to take them McMahons down. Yeah, we was talking about that earlier. A guy with the brain chip playing games and shit. Shit's crazy. Some crazy shit. He's got a brain chip in his head. Elon put a brain chip in that guy's head, and he's using it. He's using it to play video games and shit. Apparently, wow. Playing rough with your mind. My God. Damn boy. I didn't hear about that. What? Go on out. Nice bacon croissant. Now, Boxer, if you sent me £3, what is £3 in American dollars? If I had just $3, 17 cents, could buy a nice bottle of pre-workout and be wired up. Instead, I gotta go suck it up in Biden's America. I have pre-workout. I have pre-workout. What is 3.79 for what? He didn't send me nothing. Apparently, he can't donate. They don't have PayPal over there or some shit. I don't know. Weird. English don't have Cash App, PayPal, nothing. Yep. They're cut off from the West. Fucking starving. Starving. Let's see. Streamlabs money, you don't get right away, but I can't remember. It's been so long since I used it. My Streamlabs works. I sent it to you the other day. You asked for it. I sent it. I feel like it's like a day or two for you to get it once you cash it out, if I remember. Pretty sure it's not instantaneous. Maybe it is now. Who knows? And $2.69 left. Fuck it, I'm getting a hash brown or something. I'll figure out how to get $1 for a fucking wrap later. Fuck it. I want them hash browns. Look so good. Tasty. Benny's shit. What about it? What are you talking about? Oh, did he? Did he? Um, no. I just You're the second person that said that to me, and I was like, huh? Did he? I thought you said Denny's. Maple bacon croissant sandwich and a large hash brown. That's it. Or do I get that and put my faith in this stream that someone somewhere will take mercy upon my soul and send me $1 later to get that wrap on the way home? Or do I play it smart? Don't get the hash browns and just save the $1. It's a tough choice. Tough choice. I have faith in the people, but maybe that's a bad idea. All right, I got the clothes I'm gonna work out in, and then I need something to wear after. I'll be right back. That fucking TV I got in here keeps this room so warm. Gives off all that heat. Walked in this room, feel like there's a heater in here. Feels nice. The copy Periscope. Oh, great. Now I'm getting recommendations for gang videos. This is better than Wings Redemption. Hey Siri, what's the temperature?
It's 39 degrees outside.
Fucking amazing. 39 degrees. 39 fucking degrees. It's cold out there. I got a 4 mile bike ride to get to that gym. No pre-workout. Don't even have $3 in Biden's America to get it. Sad. I'm still gonna go though. Fuck it. Fuck it. We need some. We need to hear from David Goggins. We needed some motivation this morning.
So two guys asked me to help them train for a marathon. Oh, but they picked a shitty day to train. It's 40 degrees. Raining, windy, nasty. Those cats are inside the treadmill. You can't let conditions dictate your outcome. They believe that if it rains or snows or it's too windy, they may cancel the fucking marathon. They ain't canceling shit. You better train with whatever conditions they fucking give you. The person that usually fucking feels me, she took a day off the car. It's too nasty. Fucking stay.
Stay hard, Maple.
So two guys.
What'd you say? No, I didn't know nothing about it. Who'd he pick? He'll never be president anyway. It's a big waste of time. They don't want you sending money to Americans. Never heard of her. Never heard of her. Never heard of her. Well, any final words before I go? Before I go live when I get down there.
So I got an email the other day. This guy's talking about he's struggling, wants to go to the gym and start crying early in the morning. I said, when I was 24, I had the same condition, man. I had the same problem. So I started to study it. The more I studied it, it was this crazy conclusion. I was just being a bitch. When I say bitch, it's not just a decision. It's a mindset. In God, it means weak, soft, feel sorry for yourself. Get your ass up and raise them up. Stay home. So I got an email the other day.
Maple, get up, lace him up.
I'm not gonna tell bad times are right around the corner again. I went an appointment. So I've been grinding lately. Had to go back to the fucking lab. Readjust some shit in my brain. Put a lot of miles in. Every day. Running over 20 miles a day. Getting up early. Going to bed early. Eating the right shit. This last week, it started taking a toll on me. I usually don't think too much. Keep my shoes on, head the fuck out. I've been thinking a lot. That internal voice has been talking to me. Talking about, oh man, you're tired. Looking at my shoes about 30 minutes before I put the motherfuckers on. Pushing back the time of that I go out to go run. Trying to sound tape record myself. That internal voice I put on tape. Sound like a straight bitch when I listen to that motherfucker. So if you're having a hard time out there, tape yourself.
Sound like a straight bitch, Maple.
Stay hard. So I've been grinding lately. When I was in the military,
We gotta get out there.
all these instructors let run.
In the cold.
Most of the time we use the start midpoint. From the way back, I started seeing people getting happy and shit. Because the end was near. But there were some asshole instructors that would hear the happiness and go right on past the endpoint. When that happened, everybody stopped talking. Heads stopped dropping. And I started taking fucking souls. At that time, I knew what happened in their mind. They were living off the hope factor. They hoped the instructors would stop running. They hoped the water was never cold. They hoped the weather was fucking good. I don't live like that whole shit. I wish the water was cold. I wish the motherfucking instructors keep on fucking running. I wish the fucking rain. When the end is unknown, and the distance is unknown, that's when you know who the fuck you are. Stay on. When I was in the military,
Get your ass up.
people go, wish. Did you see a lot?
Get your ass up. They must have deleted that one video. Can't find it no more. Oh, here it is.
It's 44 degrees and it's nice and rainy outside. But no one cares about that. It's not about the rain. For the rain that exists. Life's always giving you a chance, trying to give you a way out, trying to give you an excuse not to show up. This is my excuse today. Guess what? You gotta have the mentality to show up. It's our responsibility. You know, it's the Coliseum of life.
Let's go to the Coliseum of Life, Maple. Don't say that about nothing. Just say what? Breakfast in you. That's all you get from me. It's a breakfast. Caffeine and tea.
Life's always giving you a chance, trying to give you a way out, trying to give you an excuse not to show up. This Life's choose today.
We can do 5 more episodes when I get home. I'll put it right on my phone bill when I get it. I still got to get 98 to pay off on that phone bill. We'll do a normal stream when I get back, like we did yesterday, talk about a bunch of shit. Maybe Junie will man up, do the spaces today, like he said he was going to do yesterday, and he ran for the hills. Don't run for the hills. It'll be all right. Should I watch SmackDown this week and do the full review? I think I'm going to watch it. Should I watch AEW tonight? How much to watch AEW tonight and give you my full review? Go live with it. Watch out, Molly, move. Yes. Where the fuck that go? Skip AEW. I ain't gonna argue with you. Sucks. There was a time when it had promise, potential. But they fucked that up. Imagine firing CM Punk so you can keep Jack Perry on your fucking roster. Real genius stuff from Tony Khan. Brilliant moves from Tony Khan. Absolutely brilliant. He's really got it all figured out, old Tony Khan. Something on the fucking floor and I can't find it. Unbelievable. Yeah, when they fired Punk, it was it. Huge mistake doing that. Huge mistake. I used to watch the punk stuff on YouTube when they put it out. But once they got rid of him, fucking point. Shit sucks. That Monday Night Raw had them boys mad as a motherfucker, too. They were mad as fuck. Mad as a motherfucker. Found it. Oh my god, they shouting out Jim Cornette. They lost their fucking minds. Holy fuck, they're so fucking mad about that. They post that video where Jim Cornette says the N-word. They're like, oh my god, how can anybody? Like, who cares that he said the N-word? Who gives a fuck? Jesus. Why don't y'all get a life and worry about some... I mean, that video looked like it was from the 80s or something. Who gives a fuck? I gotta hate everybody that says the wrong thing. Like, if anybody ever had a moment where they said something that, you know, you gotta hate them. I mean, damn, man, what a miserable way to live. Miserable. You can't ever let anything go. You can't ever move on from anything. You're just constantly bringing up shit from the 80s, the 90s. Crying like a bitch all the time about racism and shit. And it's usually not even a black guy. It's usually some fucking white dude. Virtue signaling. That's how much he cares. He cares so much. Find some socks to wear after the shower. Oh, you finally decided to come in? Something about you. You like staying for hours. Like that cold ass shit. Not me. Not I. Not me. Not I. Oh no. Gotta get more laundry detergent. Do laundry. Previous channel got banned for medical misinformation. It's out of my hands. And socks. Oh, shit. Some underwear. have that in your shirt. Blame Susan. Susan said, nah, y'all ain't getting to watch any of that. We're deleting it. We've come to the decision we're going to delete it. They didn't alert you, Victor. They didn't say, hey, Victor, you get on here every day and watch videos. You all right with it? They were like, nah, fuck Victor and fuck anybody like Victor. We're deleting it. Cold world. Cold world. Where's my key at? Oh, it's over here. I went to the gym one time. Left the key to the bike lock at the house. That was fucking annoying. That was a terrible. Where's it? There it is. That's alright. We'll make videos here now. Awesome. Yeah, with them. Taking my other bottle of water. This bottle's flimsy as hell. Keep forgetting I'm streaming off the controller, not my phone. Alright, I'm gonna go live when I get down. Well, yeah, I'll probably go live when I get to Wendy's. Look for the stream when I get there.